here, because I'm the gladiator of goofiness, the savant of silly, so anytime there's a weird situation that's a bit wacky, people update me on it, and usually I'll giggle about it, maybe I'll make something covering it. But now, today, there's something that a lot of people seem to think is a really humorous, silly situation, when I don't view it that way at all. In fact, I view it as an extremely sad, distressing situation. It's everything that's been happening with FouseyTube. If you're like me with gray hairs in your beard, that name might ring a little bell in your cobweb-covered brain because it's a name that's as old.
He got gray in his beard? I don't know, he looked rather young to me.
Old as YouTube itself, really. He was around a long time ago doing pranks and all kinds of shit, and he was a big name back then. But he had a mental health meltdown that kind of caused him to step away from content creation for a while to work on himself and try and better his actual life away from the internet. And now he's come back as an IRL live streamer, broadcasting pretty much every waking moment of his life on camera. And it is probably the worst thing that could have possibly happened to him. His streams blew up. He got all of the clout he'd ever dreamed of. And he immediately became corrupted and poisoned by it. His broadcast went from the beginning being...
I just want to state for the record, I am not familiar with this FouseyTube guy. I never heard of him until... I never heard of the guy until I saw him go viral for accidentally saying the N-word. I thought that was hilarious. So I understand people are saying that he's a YouTube OG. I ain't never heard of this nigga. Ever.
being pretty wholesome and community-driven, like, fun stuff from what I recall when he first came back. It was actually kind of cool to root for, like, an OG YouTuber stepping into a different ballpark, and he seemed like he was in a much better headspace. But then his numbers kept going up. And as those numbers kept climbing, so too did his ego, until he reached his absolute boiling point and crossed the event horizon of maximal douchebaggery. He became his own worst enemy. He would insult people if they were poor. His main insult was about people's financial status and well-being. He became completely corrupted by clout. He was like Gollum, with the One Ring ruining his mind. That was FouseyTube's Precious.
You know, I like Moist Critical. I'm not subscribed to his channel because, you know, I'm not like a big fan. I'm hardly a fan of anybody nowadays. But whenever I do hear his takes on anything, I tend to like it. Tend to. But, you know.
Attention. And as his mental health deteriorated, his online presence was only bolstered. People kept tuning in to see what wild thing was going to happen next. What kind of incredible, loud rant is Fousey going to go on next? Just encouraging this downward spiral as people shoved popcorn in their face gluttonously, consuming a man's mental health meltdown on stream. And it really started reaching its boiling point about 2 weeks ago. While on stream, FouseyTube was at an airport and met a woman, and she was very clearly super drunk. She was hammered. And the two got to talking, and eventually she revealed that she was actually the victim of human trafficking at one point in her life. And how did FouseyTube respond to that information? By apparently having sex with her in the airport bathroom. He came back on...
Oh, no. No! He did not! No way. Y'all playing with me right now, huh? I mean, I guess.
Stream after like a 10-minute break, giddy. And he was saying about how he just joined the Mile High Club. Well, not exactly the Mile High Club because they were still at the airport, but you know, we just fucking boinked in the toilets over there. And he was so pleased, and then his community turned on him. They were like, wow, that's actually extremely fucked up. She's super drunk, and she also just confided in you that she was the victim of human trafficking. How could you have done this, Fousey? You just took advantage of this.
Yikes! I called you FouseyTubes, my bad. Jackie says, I don't think we should psychoanalyzing Fousey because he got targeted and doxxed. The Dozer said that he was gonna delete his family. What up, Cassie? Happy Friday to you. What's going on? It's been a minute since I streamed, so I'm just kind of like checking in with y'all.
Woman. This is really degenerate, unforgivable shit. So then he very quickly tried to like play it off as a joke and he wasn't being serious. Like, haha, no, haha, that's not real, didn't actually happen. Ha, you guys fell for a timeless classic prank. Get pranked, epic style prank, not real, didn't actually do that. When it seems like that's exactly what happened. And this is like Twitter in a nutshell with absolute unhinged lunacy. I did see some people defending this by saying, yeah, but he also raised money for her, so he should have been allowed to have sex with her anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. What they're referring to is he asked his community to donate to her and they raised like $2,500 for her. And that's apparently an excuse for having sex with an extremely drunk woman who also had just confided in you that she was the...
That's not a good look. Y'all know me. Y'all know me. I normally I try to look at it objectively, and I try to. By the way, Cassie, I want to play that with you. I do, but y'all know me. I normally try to look at it objectively, and you could. It would even be fair for you to say normally I look for a way to take the man's side when it comes to situations like this. But clear cut is clear cut, dog. You mean to tell me you just met a woman who's obviously drunk? And granted, I'm going based off what Moist Critical says, but you met a woman who's obviously drunk, and she just confided into you that she's a victim of ice trafficking. You know how we don't want to upset YouTube. And your solution to that situation is to go and bone her in the bathroom at the airport? Ooh, that is not a good look, sir. that is not a good look. Hey, but you FouseyTube, I guess you can do what you want.
The victim of human trafficking at some point. It's so alarming seeing people try and rationalize and justify it. That is concerning. Like, that is just downright fucking alarming. But anyway, FouseyTube did face backlash for that, but it actually only made him even more popular because it put FouseyTube's mental health on a bigger stage for more people to see. So more spectators funneled in to watch the train wreck unfold every single day, because he was broadcasting fucking 24/7 basically. A lot of people just kept coming in to point and laugh at the freak show. Look at this crazy guy doing crazy shit. Everyone come watch and laugh at this guy as he broadcasts a very serious mental illness, and as it continues to only get worse. Ha ha.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm getting tired of chalking everything up to mental illness. Like, sometimes you're just a whack job. What up, Dragon Slayer? I appreciate you for stopping by. I'm just kind of giving everybody an update. Right now I am streaming from an undisclosed location in the middle of moving. Y'all know I'm working 16 hours a day, trying my best to give y'all something. And Jackie recommended this situation with FouseyTube. I'm not even caught up on the news for this week, so if y'all got any ideas or what I missed the last 2 weeks, really, then let me know and I'll go and see what I can do.
And last night he ended up getting arrested on stream. I don't even know where to begin with this stream. I actually watched like the last 2 hours of it because even before that, things were looking really bad. FouseyTube had assaulted 2 people earlier in the stream last night after they had only lightly bruised his ego over very minor things. He had been yelling and insulting a ton of people. It was looking really bad. He legitimately looked like he was a danger to not only himself, but others. There was also some unlovable, kissless, virgin, loser, turbo, insufferable asshole troll that was calling and harassing FouseyTube's family and threatening their life, threatening his life, which of course only continued to push Fousey down this path. The troll was like threatening his family, threatening Fousey, which only made everything significantly worse, obviously.
Jackie says, I think these people on YouTube are too quick with the conclusion and they think they know everything, and we'll see though, but I think the drunk girl was crazy. Maybe so. You know me. I normally look at it from an objective point of view. I don't know the situation. I'm only going based off of what Moist Critical is saying, and I'm assuming that he doesn't have a reason to lie about that. Now, he could be, and I'm just, again, I don't know much about FouseyTube. If it happened that way, I just think it wasn't a good look. I'm not saying that he committed a crime or anything, but then some people would say that he did commit a crime. Some people would say you had sex with a girl who couldn't consent. I don't know. So,
obviously, he ended up getting kicked out of an Airbnb and then checking into a hotel where he had a manic episode again and ended up calling the police. And he basically swatted himself.
The fucking questions. Send the fucking cops. Send the cops. There's a gun to my head right now. There's a gun to my head. Help, ma'am, he left. Ma'am, he left. There's a gun to my head. Help, get them. Help, bye. Ma'am, Intercontinental, what's my room number? Help, tell me. 2020.
He spent like the last 45 minutes of the stream in a panicked, manic state where he was very afraid of that troll who was making threats against his family and himself. And he ended up calling the police, hoping that they could go arrest him and take him away to try and, fix this whole situation. And it was only made worse because the troll kept pushing him. Like earlier in the stream, Fuzi had apparently like fallen in love with this girl and she had like broke up with him, and the troll took credit for it, claiming that he had actually planted that girl there so Fuzi would fall in love with her and then she'd break his heart. So he mentions that multiple times in the last 45 minutes because he truly believed that that girl he met was a fucking plant from this troll who's controlling every aspect of his life now. Even the girl he had fallen in love with was actually on the troll's payroll working for him in order to hurt Fuzi. So it was this just very, very sad thing to watch unfold. And the police respond. Obviously, he called them and said that, his life was in danger. There was a fucking gun to his head. So the police do actually show up.
He's a stalker.
Okay, and who is this guy?
I don't fucking know.
So how do you want us to look for him if you don't know where he is?
I have his address.
What is his address?
I said grab my security 20 minutes ago.
This is a sickness.
You guys are dumb as fuck, man. You guys are literally dumb as fuck.
There's conflicting information on if it's an actual arrest or if they're just detaining him because he is having this mental health episode. He was yelling and screaming at them and saying a bunch of things that obviously didn't make much sense. So because he was so irate and so deeply disturbed, it seems like the cops arrested him and detained him. And
So, I mean, it's obvious that dude I take it back. Maybe dude is sick. Oh no. That looked off to me. That looked off. Hold on. But yeah, no, that looked really off to me. So, I don't know. I mean, tell me, I don't know much about the guy, so it's hard for me to make a judgment on what his character is or anything like that. It really is. So, I get where a lot of people are coming from, but do you think it's a Jackie? Do you think it's a? He says, I don't think Fuzi has a good team around him. None of these guys do, and that's one of the things that I'm very wary of. Being somebody who's in the public eye and could potentially get bigger than what I might imagine. I have to have people around me who can tell me no. I have to. Otherwise, like, you're going to get into this position to where I don't even know how to describe it. You're going to get into this position where you think you know everything and you couldn't be more wrong. Hold on. This guy thinks he's doing something. He about to be sick. He's about to be sick, sir. Dummy. You big dummy. All right. Dragon Slayer says what's messed up is that we live in a time where people take advantage of others with mental problems. I don't know, Dragon. I don't know. Maybe Fuzi has mental problems. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe he's doing. It's hard to tell. But like, we also living in a time where literally anybody who does anything that doesn't make any sense, we're chalking it up to mental issues. So it's me. I'm not. I used to be one of those mental health advocates. But like, what I'm starting to realize is whenever you start to bring attention to something that lacks the attention it needs, people take advantage of it. Like mental health. I remember when, me being black, mental health is not something that's taken very seriously in the black community. So when I started taking mental health seriously and when I started, going to therapy and I learned about, attention deficit and all of this, one of the things that I told my doctor when I got diagnosed with attention deficit is that I don't want to become dependent on Adderall. I don't want to do it. I don't want to do it. I do not take Adderall. And to be frank, you know, maybe I'm admitting to a crime here live on stream, but when they was giving me mines, anyway, Jackie 2 says, and they say he was off his meds. I don't know. I think it's a double-edged sword. It's very rare to have a successful person that isn't a rat. Fair enough. Okay.
Let's go. Hey. Beat that thing down like you started attention, my baby. You had some plans with your man, just tell him to cancel, my baby.